Hello everybody, so today we will be discussing lesson 20, adjusting entries on accruals. So please download Handout 020 or Handout 20 relating to accruals. So accruals are adjusting entries that relate to the accrual basis of accounting. So let's go back to the concept of the accrual basis of accounting. The accrual basis of accounting states that revenues of a company should be recorded even though hindi pa natin nare-receive yung bayad ng customer, and expenses should be recorded even though hindi pa tayo nagbabayad ng expense. Okay? So, the proper timing of the recording of revenue and expenses depending on the time period it relates to should be followed. Okay? So, even though we're not yet paying our expenses, kailangan natin i-record, so nagkakaroon ng payable. And even though hindi pa natin nare-receive yung bayad sa customer, kailangan natin i-record yung revenue para proper yung reporting natin ng revenue and expense on the time period or the time frame it relates to, depending on the preparation of financial statements kung kailan. Okay? So today, we will be discussing both accrued revenue and accrued expenses. Okay? So we have 3 examples. So if you have already downloaded Handout 20, the link is in the description box. So we have accrued revenue, and then dalawang example ng accrued expenses, yung isa sa salaries and then yung isa sa interest. Okay? So let's start. On accrued revenues, Lipana Tax Consultancy rendered year-end tax compliance and consultancy services to ABC Company on December 15 to 19, 2020, amounting to 50,000. It was ascertained that ABC Company will be paying Lipana Tax Consultancy during the first quarter of 2021. Prepare the adjusting entry at December 31, 2020. Even though ABC Company is not yet paying Lipana Tax Consultancy, Lipana Tax Consultancy should be able to record the revenue event. Okay? So, we will just be simply doing an entry relating to an expectation to receive something. So, that is revenue. Sorry, receivable. Okay, so the entry will be really simple. We debit accounts receivable for the amount expected to be received from ABC Company next year. However, even though it's still receivable, this is revenue, so we credit tax consultancy fees earned, or simply service revenue rendering. Now, let's say, for example, ABC Company will be paying Lipana Tax Consultancy next year. So, what will be the entry for the receipt of the payment? Simple lang, parang how we do it in our journal entries last time. So, the entry for payment would be debit cash for the receipt of payment, which is 50,000, and then credit accounts receivable for 50,000. Okay? So, the adjusting entry for December 31 would be this one. Okay? We need to do this entry even though Lipana Tax Consultancy is not yet receiving the 50,000 from their customer. It's because they have already rendered 50,000 worth of services to ABC Company. Revenue yun for 2020, hindi for 2021. Easy lang, diba? Okay, let's continue with accrued expenses on salaries. Okay, Lipana Tax Consultancy pays their liaison officers on a weekly basis. Okay, lingguhan ng sahod. The company has 10 liaison officers receiving 3,000 pesos weekly every Friday. So, ibig sabihin, kung every Friday nagbabayad ng sahod at 3,000 kada liaison officer at 10 yung liaison officers, every Friday, nagbabayad sila ng 3,000 times 10 persons, 30,000. The last day of the year, which happens to be December 31, 2020, fell on a Thursday. Prepare the necessary adjusting entry on December 31, 2020 and the entry to record the payment of the weekly salary on January 1, 2021, Friday. Okay, so let's do it like this. Bale, ang nangyari, linggo ka ng sahod every Friday. So, drawing natin yung, lagay natin yung Monday to Friday. Okay? So, every Friday, nagpapasahod sila ng 30,000. Ngayon, ang December 31 fell on a Thursday. Okay? Ito ngayon yung Happy New Year natin, January 1. So, parang sa linggong to, nahati kasi yung linggo. Ito po ay 2020, ito po ay 2021. Mali po na yung salaries expense na 30,000 ay i-report mo ng buo sa 2021. Kasi yung Monday to Thursday nun pang 2020, yung Friday nun pang 2021. Mamamali kayo nun. Okay? So, how many days po yung 2020 ang effect? 4 na araw. Bakit 4 na araw? Yung Monday, yung Tuesday, yung Wednesday, at yung Thursday, yan po ay related sa 2020. So, ganito. 3,000 pesos per liaison officer times 10 liaison officers is 30,000 times 4 over 5. Yan po ang salaries na related sa 2020. So, 3,000 times 10 is 30,000 times 4 over 5 gives you 24,000. So, ang magiging entry po natin ay hindi ka naman magbabayad ng salaries ng Thursday kasi Friday, di ba? So, utang muna, payable. Okay? So, on December 31, your entry would be debit salaries expense of 24,000 which is related to 2020. Credit po natin sa salaries payable kasi hindi pa po nababayaran ng company. Pero kailan po babayaran yung sahod? Diba tuwing Friday? So, ito po ang entry natin ng Friday. So, on January 1, it would be debit yung utang natin sa kanila na 24,000. Tapos, eto, expense na to ng 2021. Magre-record ka na ngayon ng expense sa 2021. 6,000 na lang kasi yung kulang sa isang araw. Then, credit cash po tayo ng 30,000. That way, Friday, nabayaran pa rin natin yung 30,000. Pero nahiwalay natin ng maayos na. Expense ng 2020 ay 24,000. Pero expense ng 2021 ay yung natirang 6,000. Pero, 24 plus 6, 30 pa din. So, anong adjusting entry for December 31? Ito po. Debit salaries expense, 24,000. Credit salaries payable, 24,000 para po dun sa apat. Okay, dito naman tayo sa last example, our accrued expenses on interest payable. So, pagka yung company is umuutang ng cash from a bank, usually, syempre, may interest yun pagbabayaran mo na uli sa bangko. However, hindi natin nire-record kasi as expense kung kailan tayo magbabayad sa bangko. Hindi. So, kailangan din i-accrue natin kung ano yung kasama dun sa taon na yun na interest. Okay? So, to make it more clearer, let's use this example. Lipana Tax Consultancy borrowed 200,000 pesos from a bank evidenced by a note of promise to pay on May 1, 2020 with an interest rate of 12%. So, umutang daw po ng 200,000 Pero pag binalik nila, may interest na. May patong na 12% after 1 year. Okay? Both the principal and the interest is payable after 1 year. That is April 30, 2021. Prepare all necessary entries. Letter A, without the use of reversing entries. And letter B, with the use of reversing entries. Reversing entries will be discussed with you on lesson 26. So, ang ituturo ko lang dito ngayon is parang the usual, the normal, na hindi tayo dadaan dun sa concept ng reversing entry. So, tandaan natin yung facts of the problem. Ang hiniram po sa bangko ay 200,000. Ang interest rate po ay 12%. Tapos, May 1 po nangyari yung transaction. Babayaran nila yung utang nila sa bangko within 1 year. Okay, so i-entry muna natin yung panghihiram nila ng pera sa bangko. On May 1, 2020, nanghiram sila ng pera sa bangko. So, syempre, magkakaroon sila ng cash. Magkano po yung hiniram nila sa bangko? 200,000. So, syempre, debit cash, 200,000. And usually, pag humihiram ng pera sa bangko, there is a written note of promise to pay. So, this is credited to notes payable. If you would remember, in landing on your travel services company, di ba ganun din? Nanghiram sila ng pera sa bangko, so meron tayong cash, pero meron tayong utang. And the utang is notes payable. Remember, pag binayaran na uli next year, after 1 year, yung utang meron ng 12% na interest. Kaso mali po na yung 12% interest ay magiging, i-recognize lang natin as interest expense next year. Mali yun kasi 2020 ito. May ilang buwan na nadadaan for 2020 bago mag-reporting period on December 31. So, meron na tayong mga na-accrue na interest expense doon, although hindi pa talaga natin binabayaran. Yun yung kailangan nating accrual ng adjusting entry. Kailangan natin mag-record ng interest expense, pero naka-interest payable. So, paano natin gagawin? $200,000 yung note payable. Multiply natin sa interest rate na 12%. Okay? Yan yung buong interest. Okay? Magkano kaya yung buong interest? 200,000 times 0.12 is 24,000. Kaso buo yan pang isang buong taon bago ka magbayad. Ngayon, ang kailangan lang nating i-record is yung interest expense na related po sa 2020. Okay? So, bibilangin natin kung ilang buwan mula nung May 1 hanggang December 31. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 1. So, kukunin lang natin yung 8 over 12. Okay? 8 months over 12 months. 24,000 times 8 over 12 is 16,000. Ito lang po ang interest na related sa 2020. Although hindi pa natin nababayaran, kailangan i-record na natin. Okay? So, pagdating ng December 31, magde-debit ka ngayon to recognize the interest expense. Debit interest expense. Amounting to 16,000. 16,000 lang kasi yung interest natin for 2020. Bayad na? Hindi pa. I-accrue natin. So, kailangan natin ng credit to interest payable. Ang dating kasi dyan ganito. 24,000 po yung interest sa buong taon. Kasi yung 12 months mo nahati. May 2020 tsaka 2021. Yung 2020 ay 8 months. At yung 2021 ay 4 months. Okay? So, 24,000 times 8 over 12, yun po yung 16,000 para sa 2020. Tapos, 24,000 times 4 over 12, yan naman po yung natitirang 8,000 na interest expense for 2021 pa. Okay? So, to properly relate the amount of interest for 2020, dapat 16,000 pa. Hindi pwede yung buong 24,000 sa 2020. Hindi rin pwede na yung buong 24,000 sa 2021. Kailangan i-split mo sa tamang time period. Okay. O ngayon, bayaran na natin kunyari. 2021 na, babayaran na nila yung utang. Ano magiging entry natin? Siyempre, ito muna. Bayaran natin yung mismo principal amount of the bank borrowing. Ang tawag po dito yung principal amount, yung mismong hiniram sa bangko, 200,000. Okay? So, dating naka-credit ang notes payable, lalagay natin sa debit. Tapos, syempre, may utang tayo, di ba? Interest payable, 16,000. So, ganun din ang sistema. Dating naka-credit, nalagay mo sa debit. Kaso, kulang pa yung interest expense mo. Kasi kailangan 24,000, 16 pa lang yung babayaran mo sa bangko eh. So, dapat lagay na natin yung ito. 24,000 times 4 over 12, which is 8,000. Saan natin debit niyo? Interest, expense. Kasi expense na siya for 2021. Ito na ngayon yung 24,000 mo na interest na utang. Pero, properly, in accounting, na ilagay mo siya as expense for 2020 ay 16,000. Expense for 2021 ay 8,000. Credit natin yung cash dun sa buong babayaran nila, which is 224,000. O i-prove natin yung 224,000. Ang borrowing na ginawa ng company ay 200,000. Tapos, ang 12% interest natin ay 24,000. So, ang total nito ay 224,000. Paano natin ipoprove yung 224,000 na to? Paano natin mare-reconcile? Interest in 2020 natin ay 16,000. Interest natin sa 2021 ay yung 8,000. At syempre, binayaran natin yung principal amount na 200,000. Yun po, yung 224,000. Okay, so I hope that you understand the lesson today regarding accruals. So again, we have two kinds of accruals, accrued revenue and accrued expenses. Ganito lang siya kasimple. Basta nangyari na yung revenue, kahit di mo pa nare-receive yung bayad ng customer, di mag-record ka ng receivable. Tapos, kapag ka naman accrued expenses, basta nagkaroon ka na ng event na may expense, pero di mo pa nababayaran, record mo din. Debit ka naman ng expense, credit mo sa payable. Pag salaries, edi salaries payable. Pag interest, edi interest payable. Pag utilities, edi utilities payable. Okay? Yun lang naman. I hope that you understand the lesson today. Thank you and have a great day.